Before I get into my quick rant, if anybody's used Camtasia 2023, can you please tell me what you think about it? Because I'm strongly thinking about dumping Camtasia altogether and going to another form of software, because this is getting on my nerves. It does this thing where it shrinks my screens down when I don't ask it to, and it's messed up a lot of my presentations. But anyway, that's my quick stupid rant. Now let's get down to the meat and potatoes. See, something's brewing in South Korea. If you've been watching the international news, doctors in large numbers have walked out of hospitals just as patients need rudimentary care to emergency surgeries. Now they want to issue letters telling those doctors that they have to go back into those hospitals. I have a great amount of empathy for people who really need emergency and immediate care. I have a great amount of empathy for people who want to get seen by a doctor, because some critical things can happen like that. And then someone can be here, someone can be gone. You just don't know. Here's what I want to say, though. What of those doctors, nurses, and medical staff? What about their quality of life? Let's not pretend that doesn't matter, because the pandemic and now this onset of inflation, I think, has made people wake up. And what I mean by this is what's happening in South Korea doesn't seem like it's going to be an isolated incident. Don't think it won't come to the United States. It will, and I think it should. Because if I'm not mistaken, nurses are already either moving around because a lot got fired because they refused the shot, or they just quit in droves. Doctors deciding to walk away. I'm hearing even in Canada right now, there's something going on with doctors and private practices in which the doctors are deciding to retire due to burnout. You see, like South Korea, lots of countries are having a population that is heavily filled with people over the age of 50, and not too many people that are younger than that. And see, this lack of quality of life, not work-life balance. We can't call what happens in South Korea work-life balance. Those people were working 60 plus hours a week. That was the mandated time. And to give you a perspective, here in the United States, you can't be forced most of the time to work more than 40 hours. They were working 60 plus. That is a burned out society. But our doctors here also work long hours. Surgeries can take a while. Don't think this stuff ain't coming to the United States. Just don't even think it. Because what do the doctors in South Korea have to do with the West? See, our lack of respect for people has gone on for a while. Janitors who clean our bathrooms, who we for a while gave applause to, because in the pandemic we needed that cleanliness. But all in all, most people look down on janitors. Why would anybody want to scrub toilets and wipe sinks? People look down on truckers and have assumptions about a trucker based on how they look, when these are the same people who have the CDL license to deliver you the stuff that you need. And yet you have the nerve to look down on them. Heck, people could be even looking down on these doctors and nurses who quit because the newbies coming out of medical school, they're not going to know a lot. Then the thing that got me in the United States that may never happen in South Korea, God forbid, or heaven forbid, I never want it to happen, is the amount of teachers that are walking away. I watched a video on my lunch break as of the time of this recording, which was today, February 28th. Because that's my unpaid lunch. I'm allowed to do it. That's when I can recall watching it, okay? Anyway. Where a former teacher recalls that she heard a story about another teacher whom a young girl flat out told her, "My mom told me if you get out of line, I can beat your blank." That's the lack of dignity and respect going on in the United States right now. You have teachers having to fight their students or having to fight them off. There was one teacher beat down by a student over like some little console or little video game recently. Oh, well, he already had mental issues. I'm like, but he had enough sense to know he wasn't supposed to play that game during class and got mad when she wanted to confiscate it. And he beat that woman senseless. I'm happy she survived. Okay. Then you got these students wanting to try their teacher just because they tell them to do simple things like turn off their cell phone. So hooked are they in the West on their cell phone that they will fight their teacher for it. And a lot of these teachers are like, I'm not taking this disrespect. Then they're being filmed. People chuckling and laughing. These things aren't funny when the United States got kids going to middle school who can't even read at between a 3rd to 5th grade level. That is the rudimentary stuff. So help me to understand then. Are those people supposed to just stay there by virtue of the fact that they went to school and got the education? I don't think so. They care about their quality of life. It's not like 2008 where you had a housing crisis. You had a flat out pandemic that kept most people home for a while, and inflation came behind it. People out here in these streets are stressed out. They're depressed. They feel disrespected. And I see more and more people, unless it changed, dropping from these particular professions unless the disrespect goes away. That's just my opinion. I mean, you can only take so much going to a school having people's kids say that their parents said they have a right to disrespect you. You can only take so much being away from your family for long periods of time, driving trucks with cargo halfway across the country, only to take disrespect based on that. It'd be interesting to hear from truckers the disrespect they feel that they take by virtue of their blue collar status, though truckers get paid well. I don't want to sit in a classroom with a kid just because I told them to not talk during the test. They want to beat me up in front of other students. They want to clap at me and decide that they want to beat the crap out of me. I don't want to be proud to go and clean a space only to be looked down upon just because that's the profession I'm in. With all this high value, this and that, that's where we are. I don't blame these people. I've been a janitor. I know the looks. And it sucks when you just want to make a living and people are looking at you like they're better than you, and that wasn't your intent. See, the doctors walking out wasn't just about doctors walking out, because they have a high level of skill that you have to be a certain type of doctor. That goes for nurses as well. Nursing school, they say clinicals is the hardest thing. I met a lady who came close to getting her nursing degree but dropped out because she could not survive clinicals. Because that's the toughest part of it. With South Korea having a work week of over 50 plus hours, They take it to a level the United States doesn't. People are very burned out. People are depressed. People want their lives back. They want their livelihoods. They want their families. And while you're sitting here making fun, the populations throughout the world are aging. Somebody has to replace those janitors, those truckers, those nurses, those doctors. Some skills AI just can't do. You're still going to need a human at the ready. This disrespect in a time of inflation has caused the right ones to decide on their quality of life. And I can't say I blame them.